It's fucking weird. It's really, really unsettling. You look like you're kind of possessed or something.
Yeah, and you wouldn't normally play a keyboard like that.
A bit like the Monkees or some shit like that. You know, like, we all sleep in the same bed because we're in a band and we tour together, we live together. Hey, I'm Alex Kipranos.
I'm Julian Corrie.
We're from the band Franz Ferdinand, and we're here with DIFFUS to show you our reactions to some videos from our band. So with this video, we were trying to get together a lot of things that we loved visually at the time, things that were inspiring us as musical artists as well as visual artists. And we loved constructivism, the Russian constructivists of the early 20th century. There was a brutal simplicity to that art. Also the Dada movement, a brutality and a kind of anger and a disrespect of the context from which they were cutting the images from the page. Yeah, we were sort of combining those things together to make something that we felt that we hadn't seen visually in the context of a music video before. This is the bit where the song changes.
I still feel like the stampy foot thing.
Yes.
I still like I instinctively do that when we play it now. And I think it's maybe a combination of how the music makes me feel, but also a subconscious thing that calls back to this video. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. I should talk about that transition. So like the song, after a minute, where are we now? We're 59 seconds into the song. At this point, the song changes tempo, it slows down, and then actually, it kind of slows down, it kind of speeds up and goes half time, or something like that. It changes tempo. And the reason it does that is because when the song was being written, we wrote the verse, and it was kind of cool. Then we went away and had a cup of tea or a drink of wine or something like that, then came back and worked on the chorus. And maybe we were more excited about one than the other or something, I don't know, but one ended up being written at a slightly different tempo from the other.
Oh, when I woke up tonight, I said I'm gonna make somebody love me. I'm gonna make somebody love me. And now I know that it's
Okay, so this is Do You Want To, and this video wakes up with us, like literally waking up on the bed. And this is another great collaboration. This is with a woman who's now a really good friend of mine, Diane Martel. And I was walking across Columbus Circus in Manhattan, and I was like, what are we going to do for the beginning of the video? It needs to be us waking up. And you used to get these comedy shows in the United Kingdom, things like the two Ronnies, where they would always be in bed with each other. Also in Sesame Street,
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie in Sesame Street, how they share the bed together, and there's always the kind of funny. I thought, wouldn't it be funny if like the four of us were just like all waking up in bed next to each other, a bit like the Monkees or some shit like that. You know, like we all sleep in the same bed because we're in a band and we tour together, we live together. And then I thought, but let's make it a trompe-l'oeil, like an effect where it looks like we're all lying in bed, but then the camera pulls back and the bed's standing up, and then we walk forward into the room, and it's an art gallery where we're doing all the shit for the rest of the video. And Diane was just kind of like, great, yeah, let's do that. That's cool, that's cool.
Oh, well, do you wanna? Oh, well, do you?
So the idea of this video, when the band started off, we were all very skint, like we had no money, but really liked alcohol. And as is often the case for people in such a situation, we would search out environments where we could get alcohol for free. And one of these was like Glasgow's always had a great art scene, and we were kind of in that art scene and around the art scene. Like our first gigs were playing at galleries and people's shows and stuff. And we'd go down to a lot of galleries and go down for the social life and to see the art and to drink the free booze as well. And so we sat and talked with Diane and sort of said, and we just talked about like a lot of the experiences we'd had at galleries like that and quite often people would really misbehave themselves, and a lot of the folk in the Glasgow art scene at that time were quite wild. So we just told Diane about all the different fucked up things that we'd seen at galleries. And again, we just tried to get as many of them into the video as we possibly could.
Where I never let you
see that wee guy, the little fella? Yeah. That's a reference to, there's a famous anecdote about a party that Freddie Mercury once had. I think it was his 40th birthday, where he had little people wandering around with literally silver platters of stimulating substances for the people of his party, and yeah, that's a reference to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what's his name? Fucking Damien Hirst reference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This one here, there's there was an art thing that at that time it was very fashionable to do text art, and we went to this show. It was like terrible. This artist had done this like awful. He'd done one wall which was text saying like names of heroes. I can't remember who they were, and one was like villains, and one of them was Count Dracula. And our friend Jacqueline, she was just like, this art is fucking shite. These ideas are fucking rubbish. She was a very confrontational person, and she went along and she peeled the O off Count Dracula, so it said cunt Dracula, and so she transformed this boring piece of art into something quite spectacular. But that was not how the artist saw it. And suddenly there was this huge fight in the middle of this art gallery, and that's a reference to that when Paul's peeling the O off Count Dracula.
Oh, Count Dracula, right.
Again, a wonderfully collaborative process. We worked with this remarkable young director called Rianne White, who's a Scottish director. And this is actually shot in the room where we recorded the whole album. We wanted to get the flavour of old film noir, you know, and the dark shadows. And I think the lighting that Rianne used in this is remarkable, and it's a way that it's a way of film that you don't really see in much contemporary filming. Certainly, like modern film, you don't light like that, where half of a shot is completely in shadow and the other half's really brightly lit up, and it makes for a very dark, dramatic, sort of mysterious kind of content. Yeah,
she was doing loads of in-camera effects, so all the effects that you see in the video were done in the lens. They weren't done with computer graphics, so it's all and shot on film, which was cool. It actually reminded me a bit of recording on tape, because when you record on tape, you basically get the one chance to do it. You can go back and re-erase it, of course, but you prepare much in a much different way. And for this video, we were preparing the shots for quite a long time, making sure everything was right. And then she was like, "Okay, shoot," and she shot it. And then we were like, "Cool, done. Let's move on."
Yes, that's right.
And I really enjoyed working on that.
I'll never get bored of you.
I love this stance.
I wanted the horror hand there.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, but I was like, I'm going to roll with it.
But it's fucking weird. It's really, really unsettling. You look like you're kind of possessed or something. There's something very
it was that thing
satanic.
Of like the hand coming up from the grave, you know.
Oh, it's like a Carrie reference.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise. Right.
Yeah, and you wouldn't normally play a keyboard like that. That's really cool. Yeah, they filled Rianne filled a mirror with water and then shot into the mirror, and then had an assistant jostle the mirror around, so you got ripples in the image, and it looks like the image is kind of rippling, but it's all, you know.
Yeah, it's a sort of thing that you would need a huge computer and software and a lot of time and money to get a sort of like CGI simulation of that will look nowhere near as good as actually doing it physically with a mirror and some water. It's also strange seeing that room, because like the room's normally quite homely. It's quite a kind of like, there's an open fire and it's a nice kind of cozy place to sit and make music, but in the context of this video, it looks, pretty sinister.
I look forward to
the rain. The irony is, the rain's artificial. It was actually a watering can.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it is actually a watering can.
I was going to say,
which is so weird, because normally we have a lot of natural rain in Scotland. We don't have to recreate it. You know, it's really nice being able to see where we've gone from the very beginning and to where we are now. Because I've always enjoyed it, I've always loved it, and a kind of glorious opportunity. And I think for any artist, a lot of what you do is recognizing the opportunities that you actually have and saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to recognize it for an opportunity of expression and creativity and making something that maybe wasn't in the world before, and enjoying it, and then leaving something in the world. You know, that's not so bad, is it?